Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's December. It's after all your exams are done, or hopefully done. It's the 20th. The year is 2011. My name is Day 9, and it is time to talk about one of my favorite topics ever. Yes, this is seriously like my favorite thing to talk about of all time, which is funny because I don't actually have the best preparation for this talk. Whatever. It's about positivity. It is about positivity, being positive, because as you would note from my general demeanor from day to day, I'm a fairly happy dude. And it's not by luck. It's not just that, I hit 18, puberty wrapped up, and I thought, done with stress, time to just smile a lot. I have just as much up and down as the next guy, but I value being positive. I think firmly that everything can be framed positively. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in a general incoherent ramble throughout today. So first, I actually have some notes with no theme. Let's begin at the start. I remember once my dear friend Cambria, who is the greatest human being on the planet Earth, let's just establish that right now. Cambria was in final exams. She was getting her master's degree, which she eventually got, so yeah, Master Cambria. She was freaking out, right? She called me and she goes, Sean, I have to write 6 papers in 72 hours. I can't. Each of them is at least 10 pages. I'm losing my mind. And I was like, well, oh my God, is there anything I could help with? Do you want to talk to me about an outline? Do you want me to proofread it or edit it or something like that? And she was like, no, look, maybe, I don't know. I'm just so freaked out. By the way, Kimber, hope you don't mind I'm sharing this story. And I remember she called me on a Friday and everything was done on a Monday. That's when everything was due. She called me that Friday and I kind of got the, oh God, poor Cambria. And I call her Saturday. It's like, is everything okay? Can I help in any way? And it was even worse. It was freaking out, sobbing. Oh, no, I'm not going to graduate. I'm going to have to go home, and I'm just going to hide in a box in front of a lake, and I'm just going to wait for it to rain and for my cardboard box to dissolve, and I'll sit there being moist crying. And I'm like, oh, Cambria, that sounds terrible. I don't want you to do that. So Sunday came along, and I called her, same sort of stress, but I had a work day that I had to do, because I do my dailies on Sunday, and a whole bunch of stuff ended up happening where I had to work, and I remember feeling so concerned. I couldn't help. There was nothing I could really do about it. Monday came along, and I was just thinking, is everything okay? I called. I didn't get through. And then Tuesday came, and I called her, and she was delighted. Everything was amazing. I bought a dress. It's pink. Here's a photo of the dress. She sent me a photo of the dress. I don't care about dresses. I'm a man. I've never worn a dress. I can't comment on it. It's like bright pink. It sparkles. If she wore it and turned around, she'd shimmer like a disco ball. It was the most shimmery dress I have ever seen. And I was like, yeah, yes. And then I kind of had a weird realization where I realized I didn't actually do anything. I didn't actually get to read any of her papers. I didn't edit. I didn't proofread. I didn't influence what happened. It all just occurred. And if, for instance, I talked to her on that Friday and didn't talk to her again until Tuesday, it still would have happened. And it's kind of one of those moments where you realize that a lot of how you feel about things is all completely, totally in your head. It's all about how you think about things, how you view things. What I could have done is been like, oh, I'm sorry, been sympathetic, hung up the phone, and then been like, oh, okay, no big deal, everything's fine. And if you frame things positively always, life is just amazing. And I'm a firm believer that everything can be framed positively. So here is an example, again from Cambria, who is the king of all things, or the queen of all things. She's a lady. So here, this is amazing. Talk about a person who can frame things positively, right? So she had to work a job where she was like the emergency coordinator for a bunch of people. So when something was going really wrong, she had to answer the phone immediately. This is something like all the students set each other on fire. And they call Cambria, and she's the one who has to douse them and make sure that they also finish their homework. So I'd be on the phone with her, and suddenly Suddenly she'd have to be like, oh my god, my emergency phone's ringing, I gotta hang up, and hangs up. Now, think for a moment. Think if you're Cambria in this point in time. How do you frame to me or to anyone you're talking to that you're going to have to go? Suddenly, you're going to have to be rude, hang up mid-sentence, you're going to have to interrupt so that way you can go do your job. I want you to actually think about how you would end up doing that. So here's the level 0. Here's the level 0 thought process. You could say something like, listen, Sean, it's my job. I have to go. You can't hold that against me. You know that it's my job. I'm paid to do it. I'm the emergency coordinator, Sean. You have to be understanding. All right? I'm sorry if it upsets you to be interrupted and cut off so rudely, but listen, I really actually have to go. You know, it kind of puts the burden back on me. You have to understand, Sean. Come on. Then there's like the little more tactful, nice thing, which would be like, Sean, I'm really sorry that that's something I have to do. I apologize. There's no other way I can do it. I hope you understand. I'm really sorry. I think that's the way that most people would lay on it, right? Most people would do it. They'd be on the phone. They'd be like, sorry, I have to go. It's my work. I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry. And then they'd hang up and then call back later and apologize profusely for having done that. That's actually probably what I would do. But listen to this. Listen to this. This is Cambria's genius, because Cambria is an amazing, amazing person at framing things positively. She said to me the following. She said, Sean, thank you so much for being so understanding about my job. All right, I hadn't done anything at this point. She just hung up on me and called me back, and then she began by thanking me. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much for being so understanding. I know that you understand the way my job works, and I just really appreciate it that you don't hold it against me. Oh, now let me tell you what happens now. Whenever I'm on the phone with her and suddenly she goes, sorry, Sean, I have to go, and she hangs up, I think to myself, I let her hang up. Yeah, I understand, I'm really nice. Yeah. And then she called me back, she's like, Sean, sorry I had to hang up. I'm like, no problem at all, man. I got it covered. She makes me feel good for hanging up on me. Do you see what just happened there? She makes me feel great when she hangs up on me. She makes me feel good. She's like, Sean, I have to go. Maybe she had to read People magazine. But I, at the other end, I feel great. Isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing? You can frame everything positively. This is something I want you to start by doing. This is a call to action for you. Next time you would ever say sorry, say thank you. Next time you would ever apologize for anything, say thank you to the other person. Let's say you, trying to think of any example. But of course, because I suck, I'm blanking out, right? Instead of one of those, here's an easy one. You're upset and you call a friend because you're bummed out, right? Terrible day, there's a girl and I liked her and I said this and she said that and we said this. And then you go through like a 30-minute explanation of what you said to each other, but no one really cares. And then at the end, you're, I'm sorry, I'm bringing this to you. I'm sorry I'm being such a downer. I'm sorry. Don't say sorry. Don't do that. Instead say, God, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for listening to all my rantings. I really appreciate it. I thank you. Thank you. Do that. It makes it more positive. That's so kick-ass, right? Let's talk about framing some things more positively. Taking something and framing it in the positive way. Weight loss. Woo! Yeah. Tell me that you've ever heard the following thing. Weight loss, improving at StarCraft, maybe you want to be a violinist, maybe you want to be a successful debater, maybe you just want to get the A on the math test, right? You're having some skill you want to work at. And someone says to you the following, hey, you want to, losing weight's an easy one, right? Because hell, that's what I'm thinking about lately. It's the new year, I want to lose weight. Someone says to you, hey, you want to get into the shape that you want? It's going to take you about 4 months of working out. Oh, you want to be a StarCraft 2 Grandmaster? You have to play and dedicate 40 hours a week for 2 years. These are things that you hear. And what is the thing that actually pops up into your head? I can't believe I actually said Master Debater and did not realize what I had said. Everyone in the chat is making fun of me. Wow, that's great. Okay. Stay focused, Sean. Stay focused. Man, I'm dumb. So let's say someone says to you, you want to get in shape, you want to be good at StarCraft, it's going to take months of hard work. Don't you just feel in your heart, you've ever felt that where you're just like, oh, God, that's so long. Oh, that essay? Oh, don't worry, the essay will take 10 hours to do. Oh, that's so long to do. Why don't you instead think to yourself, wow, it's going to take me 4 months to get in the shape I want? Well, great. All I have to do is start tomorrow. Oh, 10 hours to do an essay? Well, if I start right now, I'll be done in 10 hours. Think of what I can do. Great. I was actually blown away. I had a friend named Greg in college who relentlessly thought this way. You know how many of you in college have the following experience where there's like a 2-week period where exams are due. They'll like hand you a take-home exam and be like, it's due on Tuesday. And what you normally do is you do it Monday starting at 2 a.m. and turn it in Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Greg would just be like, oh, great, it's a 6-hour exam? Fantastic, let me just start it right now. An essay, let me just start it right when it's done. And I remember in the exam week, he would finish with a week and a half left, right? Most of us would be done on December 18th. He'd be done on December 6th, and he'd go to Six Flags every single day. So ridiculously happy. He framed all that super positively. And by the same token, I'd also like to note that if you have negative influences, you don't have to put up with that. You don't have to deal with that. Have you ever had a friend who's just a Debbie Downer? Who just no matter what you say, they're like, oh, you want to play, oh, you want to be a StarCraft 2 Grandmaster? You can never be StarCraft 2 Grandmaster. No, you can never do it. Well, you want to be a concert pianist? You started too old. You can never do it. You should actually not talk to those people ever again. And you can. There's no reason to actually continue talking to that person. It's kind of funny to think about a relationship as, what does this relationship do for me? I mean, it's so easy to think about maintaining the relationship and doing what you can. What you need to hang out once a week? Okay, well, oh God, I have to finish my homework so I can hang out with Jimmy, who for some reason needs an hour of arbitrary time from me every week. And it becomes burdensome. Think about what relationships contribute to you as opposed to the relationships that you're just helping exist. And what you'll find is that there's a couple of them where the people are just negative and drain on you and they don't actually help you. I absolutely think it's critically important to give in relationships, to be very giving, to help people out, to give them the benefit of the doubt, all those sorts of things. But don't put up with negative crap ever. You don't have to put up with negative crap ever. Let me take me as an example. There are forum threads where people talk about me, right? Where it's like, who's your favorite caster? You know, I'm not going to open that up. Why would I don't want to read negative crap. What if it's like here's feedback from day 9 from an event? Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who will take it as an opportunity to make a jab at me. I don't actually have to read it. I don't actually have to. Well, Sean, don't you value community feedback? Yeah, absolutely. Well, that doesn't mean that I have to endure people saying shitty things about me. I will have someone I trust read through the thread, synthesize all the points, and then bring them to me and cut all the negative crap out of there, because I don't believe in reading shitty things about me. Ugh. Here's a question for you. Has someone ever been so mad at you that they sent you a nasty email? John, I want you to know that you're being a coward. And if you're so cowardly as to not want to talk to me, I mean, if you think that you can say you value me as a friend, and then you do this other thing, and then you don't want to talk about any message I get, if I am a sentence in, and I think it's going to be a negative crap message, I delete it and I don't read it. The problem fixed itself. Oh my God, is that great or what? Wow, I didn't have to deal with that. And then when they come to me, they're like, did you read my email? It's like, well, I started to read it, but it seemed negative, so I just deleted it. There you go. Wow, look at that. I'm surrounding myself with people who make me happy, people who are positive. I'm removing people who just want to lash out at me. Ugh, that doesn't seem very fun, does it? Yuck. I mean, if one of my friends is upset with me, I'll absolutely listen. That's great. I definitely want to keep my important friendships together. That seems wonderful to do. But I'm not going to take someone who I don't know or don't, who's only negative to me and just endure the negativity. Screw it. Ugh. Now, I want to also talk about stupid, silly ways to cheer yourself up, because I feel like people don't do enough dumb things to make themselves happy. First and foremost, you're an organism. You are an organism, and things will just make you feel happy because you are an organism. I drink coffee. There is a cup of coffee there, and when I drink it, I feel happier. So I drink coffee. Boom, right? Why not do that? Looking at the sun makes me feel happy. And there's a lot of funny things that you can do. All right, everyone, sit still, everyone. Now smile. Big, show your teeth. Ah! Don't you feel better? Isn't that ridiculous? Just smile. Ah, I'm happy. Boom! That's so easy to do. Now, that's something that I know a lot of people do, which is just smile when they're feeling down because it makes them feel better. But I'm talking about some more ridiculous things. I have a mirror right here. I have a mirror, and there's been times when I feel down. I distinctly remember when I had a heartbreak that was particularly poignant. Oh, God. Oh, I can't. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I chased that girl for so long. It was like years, man. We're talking like a college where the entire point of the college is trying to get a girl and you don't graduate. That's what it felt like. So, wonderful. And I was just like so broken up. I felt like there was nothing. Yeah, her name was Felicity, by the way. Sorry, I actually had something in my throat. This happens sometimes when I try to inhale my own saliva. It actually doesn't work out very well. But I was wrecked. I was so bummed out. So I got out a dry erase marker, and I actually wrote, "I am beautiful," on a mirror that I looked at every single day. I wrote that down. I wrote, "I kick ass. I am funny." I wrote these things down. And every day I would look in the mirror. I would look at myself and I would go, "You are awesome. You rule." How stupid is that, right? How silly is that to write a list of compliments in a mirror? I choose the "I am beautiful" one because as a 25-year-old man who's, hell, I'm hairy, I'm like all manly and stuff, that is probably the least manly sounding thing that you could do. But some days I would actually forget about the fact that I wrote that down. I'd be so caught up in my own head. Oh, God, maybe if I said this and this to her, she wouldn't, it sucks. And then I'd look at my mirror and I'd be like, well, I'm beautiful. Why do I give a fuck? Sometimes at school, I would need to send myself an essay, right? I'd email it to myself, and then I'd walk down to the academic end and I'd print it off. Anytime I would ever email myself, I include a line that's like, "Day 9, you are the sexiest beast known to man." And I would forget. And I would go and open it up and I'd be like, "Hey, thank you. That's so awesome." Things like this, people do not do enough. They don't pump themselves up. If any of you are ever feeling negative, I actually recommend getting a notebook and writing down things that you did that you thought were awesome. And reread through your own notebook. Cool. So, another last thing I want to bring up, and I'm sort of belaboring this point, but still, I was not the most confident public speaker. I didn't like getting up in front of crowds. It made me really nervous. I would choke and crumble, and it sucked. But I wrote down, I am someone who does not get nervous in front of a crowd. And I just would look at that, and I just became that over time. What the hell? I just decided it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, cool. Easy peasy. Other things I'd like to say to pump yourself up. Compliment strangers. Compliment people excessively. Give a lot of compliments. Also, whenever you're feeling down, go find someone who needs help and just help them out. Stop thinking about yourself. Go help somebody. I'll be very honest. When I have bad days, I look forward to the daily, where all I'm doing is talking about a game of StarCraft and how to do the strategy and answering questions. It makes me happy. You'll feel great. Do it. Freaking do it. It's great. Have you ever complimented a barista at Starbucks? Well, you have a very pretty smile. Doesn't matter if it's a man. Go compliment a man if you're a man. Yeah, I challenge you. Do it. You'll feel fantastic. And this is going to sound totally doofy. But someone said it to me, and I literally was like, ugh. Actually, it wasn't that long ago. It was actually like 8 months or so. Person said the following: be ready for all the miracles that are going to happen today. Sean, I get the sense that you wake up and you're not ready to see all the miracles that are going to happen. And miracles kind of have this like super ultra spiritual connotation that's like so over the top. And I'm like, what? I'm going to wake up and I have an itch and I scratch it and that's a miracle? You know, it didn't feel like it resonated with me. So I was just like, ugh. So, still, it just said, Sean, be ready for those miracles that happen every day. When someone says something nice to you, and you should indulge in the way that feels. If you play a game of StarCraft and you felt like you really nailed it, watch it and just be like, yeah. When there's a story that excites you, think about how amazing that was. Focus on it hard. Because, Sean, I get the sense that you're not doing that. And again, I totally was like, ugh, freaking miracles. But like, now today, I just like, I feel like that permeates my daily view. Where I'm just like, man, there's like miracles like happening all around. Like when I eat lunch, I used to eat lunch like it was a pill. I used to just like hork it down. But now I'm just like, oh God, this tastes so good. This Tabasco that I use on my food, it tastes so good. Indulging in everything that feels awesome. And this is just a little bit about why I think it's really important to be happy. Yeah. Value and positivity, no matter what happens, always frame it nicely. Do nice things to other people. And most importantly, tell yourself how much you kick ass. Go find a mirror. Do it, guys. That's going to wrap up the daily. I'm going to go fly off to Christmas. Take care, everybody. Take care. Woohoo! Merry Christmas. I'm flying home to my family. Woo!